Hey guys, it's John Tom from Total Brohammer, and it's still Chaos Week. So today we are actually going to have a game between the Chaos and the Dawi. And the name of the game today is going to be all about map control and using terrain to your advantage. So let's go over the armies first. We'll start with my opponent, the Dawi over here. So it looks like he has 1, 2, 3 Longbeards with great weapons, as well as the Grumbling Guard for a total of 4. He's also got 4 Miners with blasting charges in a secondary rank, obviously to throw over into any fire that's running up after us. He's also got one Ranger with great weapon and another Ranger with great weapon, being the Ulthar's Raiders. And these guys actually have an ability right here that is a hex, so it lowers their missile parry, missile resistance, and armor. So basically anything that gets hit with that and then focus down will be automatically destroyed pretty much. Back here we have one group of Giant Slayers protecting an organ gun. And for his lord, he actually has Grombrindle, the White Dwarf here. So Grombrindle does magic damage. Man, you should be able to click on these guys. The main thing about Grombrindle here is he has Flash Bomb, so he can actually slow people down. He has great melee attack, decent melee defense, good weapon strength here, so a lot to like about him. We've also got a Runesmith over here with, looks like standard runes here, a little magic and missile resistance, all good stuff there. So that's the Dawi army. They actually do have some Rangers, Vanguard deployed in each corner, which I think is a very good idea. I like it, gives you some versatility. As you can later they'll come into, they'll help the battle out. So, as for the forces of Chaos, I've got one Chaos Warrior with great weapon over here, and 2 more over here. 3 more over here for a total of 4. I've got 2 Chaos Marauders with great weapons and 1 Chaos Marauder here. I've got the Soul of Damnation, 2 Gorby's Chariots, which do have armor piercing, as well as 2 Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes for some armor piercing mobility. Over here I do have Sarthrel, and the reason I picked Sarthrel here, he doesn't have the most armor piercing damage here, as you can see, only 140. However, he is a lord that has high mass, he can move around, he has a ton of missile resistance too, which can be very helpful here. It's been slowly going down over the course of Warhammer. I think at one point it was like 75%, but now it's only 60%. In any case, I've got Searing Doom and Transmutation of Lead over here, hoping to blob up my enemy. I've also got Metal Shifting to give my guys some buffs. So that'll all be real useful here. So let's take a real quick look at the Soul of Damnation. So I'm going to admit, I forgot to use any of its abilities here, but it does have some abilities that help it with damage and attacking and reloading. Over here, I just got it shooting at the Grumbling Guard, so we'll go ahead and push it into full gate here. And as you can see, we've already gotten 1 good hit. Now, as the Grumbling Guard moves, and now that they're all spread out, we're going to get far fewer hits. Unfortunately, I cannot see these Ulthar Raiders, otherwise I would be hitting them right now. So, as you can see, I am actually using the terrain. I was expecting him to have a cannon, so I'm using the terrain and the arcing fire of the Soul of Damnation to actually hit him and basically make his organ gun obsolete here. So, yeah, that's how we're going to use the terrain today. So we got this nice hill up here. He's never going to be able to get into a real position up here where his organ gun can shoot at the Soul of Damnation. However, and I didn't know this at the time, of course, he does have these Rangers here, so very wise on my opponent's part. And you'll see he will, later in the battle, counterplay me here. So we've got the Grumbling Guard running up here. They're just trying to dodge some Hellcannon shots. Let's see here. Oh man, that guy just took it, and there go the rest of them there. So they're not having the best of times here. I'm gonna get up here and start throwing some throwing axes, get some free damage on these Longbeards. They don't have any armor. Gonna start moving up my Chaos Warriors. Gonna move my weaker flanking force around the edge here to kind of deal with this organ gun and these Giant Slayers. I've also got 1 unit of great Chaos Warriors with great weapons here. And we're going to be pulling back my Marauder Horsemen. Now they got some pretty good damage on these guys, but here come the Gorby's Chariots. Now these are the armor-piercing and anti-infantry variant, so they're going to do very good here. As you can see, they are just going to start pulling in over all these dwarfs here. The tree is kind of blocking them up, so it's a rather weak charge, but look, what the hell are these things? Man, those things are like... Yeah, I've never actually looked at the Gorbies before, but they look scary. So, unfortunately for my opponent, he pushed his army up to 2 forward, so now his range units are actually getting into melee combat. He's popped a Rune of Slowness on my Gorby's Chariot here, or was Rune of Wrath and Ruin is actually what it's called here. Over here we got Grombrindle. I'm trying to run away from him, but he did pop the flash bomb on me. Wasn't too worried about it. We're gonna keep the Gorby's Chariots going up and out, up and about. We're gonna have our Marauders retreat here. As you can see, he got his Rangers over here to actually take out my Soul Damnation. I noticed it, got them off, pulling them away, and I'm gonna go take care of them with my Marauders. Over here, I'm just trying to clump up the Dwarves and then drop Overcasted Searing Dooms on them. And as you can see, it's doing just... These Dwarves are just not having a good day here. Over here, he has actually gotten around and threw some blasting charges into my guys here. I really like that. We're going to throw my guys back onto the Soul of Damnation here. And we're winning this melee combat so well that I'm not too worried about all this over here. This guy... I gotta admit, the Organ Gun's getting a lot of kills, but it's mostly on Marauders here. I am seeing the Chaos Warriors with great weapons after the Giant Slayers. To be quite honest, for some reason I thought they were regular Slayers, which the armor of the Chaos Warriors would really help them against, but they were Giant Slayers, so they have armor-piercing damage, so they were not very useful. As you see, the Gorby's Chariots coming in here, doing what they do. We're now getting surrounded with our Marauders that came around the flank here. The Soul Damnation is going to be shooting at these Giant Slayers, it looks like, and just the Chariots and Sartharel are just going around everywhere. Look at him just flying around. Sartharel does not care. He's just having a hell of a fun time. Look at these. Oh man, these brave Dawi. They are brave. They are brave as the Gorby's Chariots and Sartharel just... Man, not a good day to be a dwarf. But anyway, now he actually got a lot of kills on these guys, but he was not able to use them the way that he wanted. So he wanted to get a straight up engagement, shoot my expensive infantry like my Chaos Warriors, which eventually I did give to him. But the major mistake of sending his ranged units into battle, and he's actually going to detach these miners and get them on my Soul of Damnation without me noticing, because I'm playing the game kind of like this. Alright, so we did a good number on those Giant Slayers. We got the Organ Gun offline, but I'm not too worried about it, like I said, because it's just sitting back there. Had I not sent my guys around the edge over to this flank, it would have been better. I should have just pulled them back, actually, seeing that he was pushing up here, so I would not have come into the range of his Organ Gun at all. Would have been an better option for me here. I'm going to have my Gorby's Chariots finish off the Ulthar's Radar. He is going to mark them by Ulthar, but he's maybe going to get one volley off before these guys get in here. So, yeah, let's get some more Gorby's Chariot charging here. These guys, yeah, look at those things. I would not want to deal with those here. So let's go ahead and there we go. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. All right, so that's taking care of them. Over here, we're gonna pop my buffs, pop some debuffs. He pops Slash Bomb, but I actually have. Let's go ahead and pause it here. I've actually got. Oh, jeez, it's gonna be impossible to actually click on him here, especially since I have no idea where he is. There's Grombrindle. So he's got. He's buffed. And I also got some debuffs going down on him too, but it looks like he has a lot more buffs, so gonna be tough. Gonna be tough to take out Grombrindle, especially with Big Bird here. So we'll see what happens there. But we are taking him out pretty good. We got him surrounded with infantry. We're just gonna finish off these Giant Slayers with these Chaos Marauders. Actually, they'll probably lose. We actually did get the Chaos Warriors over here. I'm gonna send my Marauders with throwing axes to go take care of these Rangers who are trying to help with those Chaos Warriors. Over here, he's Dwarven leadership being sturdy, as they always are. But, you know, for some reason or another, Sartharel is doing some pretty good damage against him. Indeed. And the Runesmith is getting absolutely destroyed. So let's go ahead and speed it up here. We're just going to finish off these guys, finish off the Organ Gun. He's going to run around a little bit, then everything's going to break, and we'll take out the rest of those Giant Slayers right there. So, a very good game to my opponent here. Let's go ahead and look at the in-game breakdown. So, I definitely made some mistakes and definitely learned some things here. Should not have moved my weaker flank out into the open in front of the Organ Gun, seeing that his army was moving in here. My opponent was not really able to get his miners with blasting charges to throw their charges. He was not able to get his rangers to really, his Ulthros Rangers to really fire. I was able to make it so that he could not play his army the way that he wanted to, which just completely ruined his tactic here. Forcing your opponent to not play how they want to is one of the best ways to go about strategy here, as far as taking them down. But in any case, a very good game to err in. If I were to give you any advice, I would have said, you know, just leave the cannon, the organ gun there with have the giant slayers escort them while you get them into a good position, I guess. Then move up with the rest of the army, but make sure not to get the rangers with the bright weapons into melee. He did do a good job at realizing he did not have the ranged advantage, so he started advancing here. Good job taking my Soul of Damnation out. Good job with the rangers as well. Very smart plays there. I like the pick of Grombrindle as well as the Runesmith. The armor made a lot of sense, honestly. Longbeards are very cost-effective. Giant Slayers are cost-effective. Rangers are, you know what, came in handy this time, so you know what, maybe not bad to bring 1 or 2, but only 500. And the organ gun, I understand why you bring it, but it can be good in some cases. But you don't want to give your dwarven opponent a head-on attack, so. In any case, very good game to Aaron. That's going to be all for this one, guys. John Ton from Total Brohammer, signing out.